Hey guys, Talks from 7th Hour Films back again with Breaking Bad. Last time on Breaking Bad, we had Hazard Pay, where basically the gang figured out how they're going to cook meth and where they're going to cook meth, and they decided instead of a singular lab that they would basically go build a lab every time they needed to cook, by going into a house that was being fumigated, and then go in, do their cooking, and then all the fumigation would get rid of all the smells and stuff, which was brilliant, and they did that. Let's see. What else? Skyler had a breakdown. Jesse had to break it off with Andrea. There's conflict still between Mike and Walt. Was that it? More or less. Yeah. Yeah. And, maybe Walt will have to take care of Mike to some degree. Yeah. This is where I say no spoilers in the comments whatsoever. This is also where I say that my collar is very loose right now, apparently. Sorry. This is also where I say that if you want to watch my reaction to this episode of Breaking Bad, what you gotta do is head down in the description or to the pinned comments, click on the link there. That will take you over to the reaction where you can watch it just like a normal reaction, and when you're done, you can pop back over here to this video for the discussion. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get right into this episode of Breaking Bad. Here we go. Okay. They didn't end up showing the other half of Skyler's face. I could have sworn that they framed it in such a way you only see this side of her face. I thought that they were going to reveal like she had a black eye or something. But no. We didn't see what happened after she said, "I'm waiting for you to die." Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. It's just ramping up. It is interesting what he says at the end. It's like, oh, this watch was given to me by someone who wanted me to have it. And just a few weeks ago, He pointed a gun right between my eyes and was about to kill me. It's like, oh, he changed his mind, Skyler. You will too. The level of insanity that he is at is insane. And I didn't realize this until today, that his breaking point was during the crawl space. When he was down there, he finally cracked. And since then has been a downward spiral. You don't notice it until he kills Gus. But man, oh man, that is definitely where he broke. So, oh boy. Oh man, just that line, I'm waiting for you to die. Well, of course, that's not exactly the line, but you know what I mean. I'm waiting for the cancer to come back. She is literally biding her time until Walt will die, because that's all she can do now. She tried the divorce. She's tried everything short of getting the two of them imprisoned. everything except getting Walt imprisoned, which would imprison her, and, you know, who knows where that would leave Well, I mean, you kind of wonder, like, where would that leave Junior and Holly, but I guess, honestly, that would just kind of leave them with Hank and Marie, you know? And honestly, I don't see why, at this point, like, I know she wants Walt out. And so that she can be with her kids. But at this point, I almost feel like she may need to take one for the team and go down with the ship, you know? Take Walt down, even if it means you go down too, you know? Like, I honestly feel like that may be where they go next. You know, and maybe Walt has to escape from that, which leads us to the Denny's. The Denny's future, as I'm going to call it. I've just decided I'm going to call it the Denny's future. Every choice you've ever made has led you to Denny's. That's what I'm calling it now. The Denny's future. You know, when Doctor Strange is looking at all those timelines, this is the Denny's timeline. And that's the thing. I think she may honestly just need to go down with the ship, you know? She may need to just turn Walt in and go down with the ship for the sake of her children, you know? And then Walt will also be out of Jesse's life, and Jesse can do the cooking by himself. They've proved that Jesse can cook by himself. So Jesse could, you know, go live a life. And Mike wouldn't have to deal with Walt either. It honestly feels like she may need to take one for the team, you know? Because a year later, Walt is still alive. Walt is still alive, so now we don't know what he's doing at Denny's. We don't really know what he's doing at Denny's, but still. Let's go ahead and hop into the notes. The first thing I wrote down is the Heismobile. So gone is the Waltmobile. The Waltmobile is no more. Which I didn't even put it together, but at the end of last season, I was like, oh, Walt's in a different car. That's weird. And I was like, oh, wait, that's because they got into the car wreck. So it's been in the shop. The car wreck, you know, the car was in the shop because of the wreck. So he had a different car. I don't know why it took me this long to put that together. So, but yeah, he traded in the Waltmobile and he now has the Heismobile. The Heisenbiel. Oh, boy. So, I don't know. Now, I do like that he does point out, it's like, oh, well, we're leasing. We've got a lease on the two cars, so that's how they can, you know, say they afforded it. And yeah, Walt, you know, says like, oh, I might have gone overboard, but yeah, those lease offers, they're really good. So that's how he can, you know, sort of get around that with people like Hank and Marie. So I like that. That was actually very clever. So he did actually think about that, which was cool. It's not just that, I'm going to buy these. Screw you, you know? Oh, all right. We can kind of, I guess, quickly go over the stuff with Lydia. So Lydia needed a new guy because the DEA was after her with Madrigal. So I didn't realize that she did the, I guess, American branch of Madrigal, which was interesting. Okay, so where exactly is she? Because she was a distance off, you know? Oh, you know what? They showed it, didn't they? When they first went to her, like, it panned over, like, an award that was in the shape of Texas. So that's it. So she's in the Texas division of Madrigal, and that's why Jesse had to take a plane there. So that was pretty interesting. But yeah, she needed a new guy. They ended up going with Jesse, and then it seemed to be... Oh, excuse me. Oh man, that was a lot more... That yawn was a lot more intense than I thought it would be. Whew, sorry about that. I'm tired. I've been yelling at shows all day, but I don't think we're going to be yelling in this episode, so yeah. So she did a setup, basically, because she wants... she basically wants out. She wants out, but she also wants to live. So she's hoping that a tracker like that will have them go find someone else. But not exactly. Mike's too good for that, you know? And because he even says, like, oh, even for police, this is sloppy work, you know? And it's like, oh, who saw that? Did you see that or did she see it? And it's like, oh, she saw it. It's like, this is a setup. She's trying to get rid of us, which is interesting. And he was just straight up about to go kill her, which is pretty crazy. But he got voted down, basically. So that was interesting. Because, yeah, Walt doesn't want to ramp down production, especially with, the whole thing of, waiting for you to die. So, yeah. Walt is 51 years old. 51 years old, which means it is exactly a year off from the Denny's future. In 1 year time, he will be at Denny's. Which, they said too, it's like, oh, well, the day after his birthday is the year anniversary of his diagnosis, which means that only a year has passed in the four seasons and 4 episodes to get to here. The entire show has taken place just in 1 year, which is insane. But, we have 12 episodes left, and 12 episodes left, which means we're in those 12 episodes, we are going to have to go through another full year in 12 episodes to make it to the Denny's future. So I don't know if there's just going to be some sort of a time jump or if episodes are going to jump a bit more throughout there. I don't know. We'll have to see. But yes, he is 51 years old. Hank is going to be the new chief of the DEA, which is pretty cool. Again, when he says, like, I know you're a great field agent, but you'd be great for the job and stuff like that. But it did kind of remind me of Admiral Kirk in Star Trek, where, it's like he was, after the original series, he became an admiral in the movies, and then he kept trying to get his command back, and even in Star Trek Generations... it was first off in Wrath of Khan when Bones is like, get back your command. You don't want to be behind a desk. You want to be out there in a starship. And he even says that to Picard in Star Trek Generations. I know I'm going total nerd on this, but still, he says, don't ever give up your command. Don't ever let your command be taken away, which is true. Picard actually, all the way through to Star Trek Picard's backstory, problems with that show aside, but this is the one thing that was kind of clever, is like, yeah, he did keep command of the Enterprise all that time, and he never became an admiral. Or at least not until he absolutely needed to, which I feel like it's the same thing here, where it's like, Hank is a bit more, I guess he's a bit more like Kirk, where it's like, will he be okay just being behind a desk, instead of being a field agent? So I'm curious if that's actually going to play out like that. Like, maybe he wants to get back his job, get back to being in the field. So we'll have to see. We'll definitely have to see. We had Skyler in the pool. So it wasn't Skyler with the pool. It wasn't that, she was trying to drown herself or anything. She just wanted to create an incident to get Hank and Marie on her side of taking the kids away. Very clever, actually, And at first I was just kind of thinking, like, I don't think she's trying to drown herself, especially with the 3 of them there. I don't think it's that. I was kind of thinking, like, okay, maybe it's more like she just needs some sensory deprivation or something. Like, she just needs to go in there to sort of escape the world, But no, she just needed an incident. She needed an incident in order to get the kids out of there, which is very clever. And sure enough, they did take the kids, and Walt did figure it out, which led to that was a really great scene of the two of them basically confronting each other. And I like, this is the first time in a while that Skyler is confronting Walt about stuff like this, because she's kind of been, I don't want to say like more submissive, but she's been kind of on the back burner just because she's been afraid of Walt, especially after the death of Gus. So yeah, it's like, I like, she says like, there is no danger. And it's like, I thought you were the danger, And it's interesting, it's like, oh, she can't just, pack up the kids and leave, which is what I've been saying, because there's blood on her hands now. She has to keep the kids basically away from both of them, which is interesting. She's stuck in that world. She can't just leave. I mean, she can, but she doesn't want to. Let's be honest. If she really wanted to, get Saul to get Saul, get enough of the money, and get out, just out of there where Walt will never find her. She could, honestly. She could. But she doesn't, because there is blood on her hands, too. So, yeah. And then, yeah, it's like, I have to wait. For what? For you to die. That is what she is waiting for. She just has to play enough of her cards. She needs to hold on. She needs to make it through. Because, strangely enough for her, there is a light at the end of the tunnel. And that is Walter dying. Because he will die. Because one of these days, that cancer's going to come back and he's going to die. And it's just a matter of time. That is just insane. That is insane. That is insane. And she said it to him. I'm waiting for the cancer to come back. She literally just said, I'm waiting for you to die. They're not trying to work things out. They're not trying the divorce or nothing. She is just waiting for this man. The man she fell in love with and married and had 2 kids with. She is waiting for him to die. Jeez. That is crazy. And we didn't see how Walt responded to that, We didn't see how Walt responded to that. And, I thought, maybe they would show, like, because they were only showing one side of her face, maybe the other part was beaten up or something, but nope, we didn't see how he responded to that. But yeah, that is just insane, man. That is insane. And then the last thing we had was the watch, which I think is more just showing, it's like, yeah, time is running out for him. So, time is running out for Walt. But he's still a year off from the Denny's future. So, either Skyler's just going to have to keep waiting, or she's going to have to, go down with the ship, which may not even work. May not even work the way she wants it to, but honestly, she may just need to do it. Just go down with the ship. I don't know. But that's pretty much it. Great episode. Very tense. Really enjoyed it. And I'm excited to see where we are going next time. So yeah, with all that being said, I'm Alex from 7th Hour Films, and I will see you guys next time. Take care. Alright guys, thanks for watching this video. If you want to watch more of my Breaking Bad reactions, you can click on the playlist, you can subscribe if you haven't done that already, and be sure you hit that notification bell. You can support me on Patreon, follow me on social media, links below in the description. See you guys later.